All right, down here in the reloading room, reloading some 9mm, and borrowed a friend's Lee 1000 here. Got it set up and working pretty well. Done a couple hundred rounds already, and just started another session here. So we got some 115 grain extreme bullets here. Nice copper plated bullets. I'm just making plinking ammo using tight group. 4.1 grains, CCI 500 primer, nothing fancy. But it's nice having this, doing 3 or 4 things at once as opposed to doing them over there on the single stage press one at a time. So yeah, for every up and down stroke, you can do multiple things. The first station here, where the case comes in, goes up into the decapping die and resizes it. And then it'll spin over to the next die where it gets a primer on the upstroke, and then on the downstroke it gets powder charged, and then it spins over to this station where you set a bullet on there, and then the bullet gets seated. Now, that didn't quite go in there, that's why that stuck, so it's pretty easy to pump out several hundred rounds. So that's what I'm doing today. Gonna hopefully get this box of 500 done and start in on some more tomorrow. Be making my range and plinking ammo for a couple of months here. Alright, I wanted to add another thing to the video here. As I'm placing the bullet into the case, I'm going to use a flashlight here so you can see better. I'm visually inspecting the case for powder. Well, it's kind of hard to get my phone in there. Focus, but I think you can see that there's powder in that case. And from the angle I'm sitting at here, I can see that as I put the bullet in there. So checking each case before putting a bullet on there, because you don't want a squib load. And then you're taking a brass rod and driving a bullet out of your barrel at the range, and that's no fun. So it's hard to do this while holding the phone, but a little example of the process here. Okay, a couple other things to show here. You see I've done quite a few more now, and that is the primer feed tray back there. And you can see right there the primers I'm starting to run low. And I've noticed on this press that if you let those run too low, you start getting primer feed issues, where you'll get cases that don't have primers, or the primers will turn sideways. So it definitely relies on gravity a little bit to feed them. So I need to refill those. And you just take this off of here like this, and then it opens like this, and you just dump your primers in there and you kind of shake them to get them sorted correctly. And then also, while I'm down here reloading primers, you can see I'm almost out of cases here in the tube. So what you kind of do, and this takes 2 hands of course, and so you start shaking this thing like this, and you put some cases up here and it sorts them end down, and they fall down into the tubes here, and you reload them. And I might as well top off the powder here. You can see the powder dispenser is starting to get a little bit low. Probably loaded, I don't know, 300 or so already today. Put some more tight group in there. Get it working again here. See that it's leaking a little bit of powder here. Clean that up too. And the thing about this machine that I've discovered is you really got to be cognizant on where you stop. And so I've always been stopping the top of the stroke when it seats the primer in this case right here. So this case has a new primer seated. This case here is a fired case that hasn't been resized or deprimed yet. And this one here is primed, charged, and ready to seat the bullet. So my next stroke on this press is going to be down to seat the bullet. So I'm going to top off my primers. This will be the 400 to 500 primers that I've gone through, because I've already gone through 300 in here. And I'll reload the cases, some powder, and knock out another 100. And so I've been pulling the case on the 100th and checking the powder drop on it to make sure that the powder dispenser and everything is still working and dropping powder as it's supposed to. I can show that here real quick. Got my little cheapy Hornady scale here, which I find terribly tedious for loading rifle ammo, but works alright for doing spot checks like this. And I usually let this one warm up for a minute because it seems like it will show 2/10 higher after a minute here. Now, of course, I'm recording it and it's going to prove me a liar, so I'll take this case out of the press, take the bullet out, dump the powder in there. You can see it's actually still at 4.1 grains, so we're good to go there. I'll put the powder back in this case with my funnel there, set it back in place, and put the bullet in there, and continue with my process here and pump out another 100 rounds of 9mm range ammo.